So the question is, why did my rotator cuff repair fail? So when you look at the rotator cuff, this is a simple model we use. So imagine this is a tendon. And when people get rotator cuff repairs, it's because part of their rotator cuff has torn off bone. So it's flapping around and it's not attached. And so what we do is we use anchors, okay, to reattach the tendon back down to the bone. And what we do in our practice is we actually had a very strong patch. It's an augment on top of the repair to really hold it down to bone, which allows us to not only repair the tendon, but also you do it in a way that you don't have to wear a sling afterwards and still obtain excellent healing rates. When we reattach this back down to bone, your body is clever and that the tendon knows that it's then attached to bone, and what it does is it heals and scars back down in. And when rotator cuffs fail, it's because that did not happen. And there's various reasons. One could be just overall poor biology, meaning the tendon and the bone do not have the cellular capacity to heal, right? That's like one. The more common reasons too are also that the tissue is very poor. So the quality of the tissue is, I would say, not very elastic. It's more of an atrophied kind of brittle tissue. And what happens is when the surgeon anchors is down to bone, the tendon actually pulls through the sutures and rips off. A third issue is that the bone is weak. And so the bone where we anchor the tendon back down, there's anchors in the bone that we use. If that bone is soft or weak, well, then what happens is the anchors get loose and then the tendon starts to kind of gap off, and then it never heals and then pulls away. So it's a combination of, the quality of the tissue, the quality of the bone, and also the quality of the repair and the construct you're using. And so, the surgeon isn't in control of the first two things, but they're definitely in control of the third. And when you look at the data and the literature, when you add augments to rotator cuff repairs, the healing rates go up 30%. So when we look at that data, we'd say we're going to augment 100% of our rotator cuff repairs, which is actually fairly unusual within shoulder surgery. But we looked at it, we said that the data and the evidence are too strong not to do that. So we augment 100% of our repairs. Then the question is, can you have a rotator cuff fail and then have a revision surgery and get it to heal? The answer is absolutely yes. And we have studied this. We get a large number of patients who have had failed rotator cuff repairs, and we have gone back and successfully fixed them. If you look at rotator cuff surgery across the board, 20% of all rotator cuff repairs fail. If you look at the group of large to massive tears, which means the tear is bigger than 3 centimeters, the failure rates are upwards of 50 to 60%. But again, certain type of repair techniques, double row repairs, arthroscopic techniques, adding patches and grafts, different biological things we can add, increase our heal rates dramatically. And even if you unfortunately are someone who underwent a repair and had it fail or didn't heal, there is still light at the end of the tunnel. We still have very good data. In our group, at least 90% of our revision surgeries, we are able to get the tendon to heal and give them a good shoulder.